If you have a therapist you talk to, or maybe you're in sessions, you may notice that if you ask them how they feel about opposite sex friendships, they'll kind of hedge, they'll kind of pause, and most of us don't really want to be adamant that you can't have them. But at the same time, we're honest. And when you're a therapist dealing with this every day, like I am, I think it becomes very clear that if your partner has an opposite sex friendship, that has the potential to really, really cause problems in your relationship. It causes problems mostly because when it's a friend, and especially if it's a long-term friend, you have an idea that this has been a long-term friend, so your partner is not going to want to tell you you can't have this relationship anymore. But there's also liberties you have as the partner who has an opposite sex friend. And when it's a friend, you take liberties, like you can get closer without really confessing it to your partner or thinking it's anything. But in honesty, it can be forms of micro cheating. And it's not necessarily your fault. It's what happens when you have an opposite sex or friend that you've known for a long time. For one thing, the more close you are as friends, the more attractive they are. And that's just common. If it's a new friend or a coworker and you're noticing, wow, I really like this person, I align on career and everything, you're feeling closer sharing your work. This person has your back. This person understands what you're going through. And maybe your partner doesn't. So you start divulging more information. You start feeling like they understand you at a level your partner doesn't, because you're at work 8 hours a day, or even if you work from home, they're around you all the time. They know certain little innuendos. They know the workshop talk. They know so many more things than your partner is privy, and therefore they have more availability to make you feel connected, to make you feel better about the stressors you're going through at work than your partner. And if it's a new relationship, that's exciting. That's something new than the same old routine you have with your partner. Or maybe you and your partner or spouse even have children. And sometimes that can get really chaotic and that can get stressful. So when you go to work, it's kind of a relief. It's a letdown. Now I get to talk to my work partner and I get to be around them. And if it's not a work partner, if it's someone you just know from the community, maybe you're a vendor or something and you have other clients that come in, you met them through a type of work, but you don't necessarily see them any day, you still have access to that relationship. And lastly, the more you talk about what's going on in your life, the more this other person, this opposite sex friend, gets a better view of you. The more they understand you, the more they're able to support you. And when you're emotionally connected, it's very easy to cross that boundary into physical. And this is where the majority of emotional cheating starts. Now, I want to tell you, a lot of people, when you say cheating, they think physical, and they will vehemently deny having an affair. But an emotional is as strong, if not stronger, than a physical, because you're letting that person into your head. And when they're in your head, they're in your thoughts. You're starting to feel more desire for them. You're starting to want to be around them. You're starting to want to dress for them, look good with them, all of these kinds of things. And the more you want to impress them, the less you're going to be thinking about your partner at home or wanting to impress them or worried about that relationship. Would I say you absolutely cannot have opposite sex friends? No, I would never say that. However, I will say in my own marriage, I don't do it. And the reason I don't do it is because any friend of my husband's would also be able to be a friend of mine. They know who I am. He can talk about me. We can invite them to dinner, but we're not going to buddy with them. And I feel the same standard for myself. I have the same boundaries. It's important that you talk about this topic, that you set your boundaries, and then both people can trust that their partner has good boundaries and that this will not be a problem if and when they encounter an opposite sex friend. If this video is helpful for you, I really would love you to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.